Dobrý večer, milí televízni diváci. Dnes máme pre vás niečo celkom špeciálne. Vycestovali sme ďaleko zo Slovenska a navštívili sme človeka, ktorý má so Slovenskom veľmi veľa spoločného. Na mimoriadne významnej pozícii prezidenta Medzinárodnej asociácie hotelov a reštaurácií so sídlom v Londýne sa veľmi angažoval za získanie akreditácie pre Univerzitu Mateja Bela v Banskej Bystrici. Okrem iného vypracoval množstvo projektov pre slovenských študentov z hotelových a reštauračných zariadení a škôl. Dnes prednáša na univerzite v Nikózii a my sme radi, že vám ho môžeme predstaviť a dozvedieť sa, akí sú jeho anjeli strážni. Mojím dnešným hostom je pán Theo Charalambous. Welcome to our guardian angels. How are you in your own flat and in our program? Do you believe in existence of guardian angels?
I feel they are around, you know. We have an angel next to us that guides us. And this is how I felt all my life. Coming from a young kid to the present day, so many positive things happen that there must be an angel next to me.
Yes, I think so. When you were a little boy here in Nicosia, have you ever dreamt about your career? For example, I will become a man, first one in the world in association of hotels and restaurants professional.
Well,
what were your dreams?
As a young kid, I think I didn't have the dreams as such, but growing, some elements came into my life that gave me this ambition to be better in life. And I think athletics was probably the highlight of my life at the age of 15 when I started to be a member of the national team for youth and then for men. That gave me this power to try for the best. Also, I think I had an influence from my father who said, Theo, you need to improve yourself all the time. And one way of doing this is to associate with important people from where you can learn and you can take ideas and move forward in your life. And I think these two elements probably gave me this potential that I had in my life.
What did your parents do? How many brothers, sisters did you have?
I have a brother and a sister, a father, retired, ex-manager of Cyprus Airways, departmental manager. Unfortunately, we lost my mom 15 years ago at a car crash accident.
So it was very painful. Was
Very
it the
painful
most
indeed.
painful moment in your life?
Probably this is the one, and the second one, I will say it, when I lost my son at the age of 23.
Yeah. And maybe nobody in Slovakia, but only a few of people know that you have overcome the war here in Cyprus. It was not so easy, the history of this island. Now there are tourists in the island, but the history was a little bit also painful. Did you take part in the war as a soldier?
Yes, I think I must say that I have experienced the whole recent history of Cyprus, starting from the days that Cyprus was under the as a colony of United Kingdom, you know, back in the late 50s. We had the first problems, intercommunal problems in 1963, and yes, in 1974 I was in the army as a soldier doing my duty, a 2-year duty as a soldier. I guess, unfortunately, I lived to see things that I wish nobody live and see. And I think the angel was there.
Yeah. How old were you in the war?
I was 20 years old.
20 years old.
I was finishing my army service the day the war started.
Yeah.
So I had to stay and fight until the war was over.
Yeah, 74 in Slovakia, it was quite a nice times. How it was in Cyprus? It was tanks, bombs, it was really very hard.
Yes, from the day of peace and prosperity, that was the 19th of July, 20th of July was a war that you cannot imagine. You know, aeroplanes bombing the land, tanks, warships coming over, parachuters. My first feelings was that this is like a movie. This must not be real. And that's how it started.
Was a special situation for you? It was very, very dangerous at the time?
Yes, there were at least 2 occasions that I was stranded on the mountains, the occupied part of Cyprus, with something like 600 soldiers that I was guiding to the front line, and that was in the middle of the night that I was assigned this special case to fulfill for our army. And fortunately, we managed to arrive safely, spending 6-7 hours in the dark without even lights. On this road, I was praying to the God because I was taking around 600 soldiers, not to make a mistake, and the angel was there.
After the war, you built this country, and it was in crash. I think it was not so easy to do it, and now it's the center of tourism here in Mediterranean. How did you do it? What are the conditions for a country to become a touristic paradise, for example?
Well, we had a challenge. I returned from UK in 1980 after 6 years of studies and operating there as a manager. The real expansion following the destruction of the war started in 1980 when new hotels started to be built. And of course, we Cypriots had, and we still have, a charisma. This is called friendship, hospitality, smile.
And great hearts.
And
I think,
big hearts. And these definitely help, coupled with the people who invested money, who believed on the island, who believed on the potential of the island. And yes, we made a miracle because from zero, let's say in 1974, we managed to grow our industry to 100,000 beds, 2.5 million of arrivals per year. Of course, this present day, most countries have economic problems. Most countries are suffering. The individuals, the tourists are suffering through insecurity for their jobs, sometimes wages cut, uncertainty for the future. So yes, there are some challenges to overcome, but tourism has potential, has future.
Yeah. How far do you know Slovakia as a touristic country? Is something for Slovakian people who are working in tourism to learn, for example, from Cyprus or from the people living here?
I think there is a lot of potential for the former Eastern European countries because they have not been visited by the Western world over the years. And visiting Slovakia for at least 3 or 4 times, if I recall, and seeing the countryside, seeing the potential for special interest tourism, because it's not everything the sea and the sun. You could visit the mountains. There is destinations in Slovakia where you could do ski. There is a lot of small towns with history, because I did receive some books as presents. I went through, I saw a lot of pictures, and you have a beauty that if you project it nicely in the world, many tourists will come. Monasteries, historical places of interest. It needs a little bit of planning, I think, by the authority, by the tourist board, and good marketing, because at the end of the day, marketing and public relations probably are the most dynamic elements in our jobs.
You were at the position as a first man in the world, associations, hotel and restoration managements and professionals. What was important to become such a president of the Institute of Hospitality in the city in London?
Well, this was probably the most honorable period of my life, being elected back in 1997 for the first time as president of the International Committee, that I was accepted by the whole world as a figure leader, let's say, of the industry. And for 10 years I've been involved with this organization, UK-based, that gave me an opportunity, first of all, to see how the entire world tourism operates, rather than a small country or United Kingdom where I lived. It gave me an opportunity to travel, to see the tourist industry of different destinations, different countries, from Europe to Far East to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I've been blessed, I think, with the experience that I have received, and most importantly, the people I met and the friendships I built over this period, I still memorize, and they stayed in my mind moments like when I met the Queen in England. I received an invitation to go as the president of this organization, and this is an honor that goes beyond your imagination. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, going to different countries as a president, the actual experience that I have received, because they had to show me the industry. They took me in places that not a normal professional could go, the most expensive hotels in the world.
Which is the most expensive hotel in the world?
I think the Burj Arab
Burj Al Arab, yeah.
possibilities, and I was honored when I was in Dubai to be toured and to have lunch there, and it's beyond your imagination. You have to see it to believe it.
I think tourism is a wonderful word. Everyone can imagine beautiful beaches, beautiful countries, relax, holidays. Maybe you are the most competent man to say what tourism actually is.
Well, as a professor, I do teach, you know, the history of tourism and how it developed, and of course it developed throughout the years for many reasons. But I think the 21st century brings tourism as the peaceful movement of the world. It brings people together, it exchanges cultures, it brings people in places that they never dreamed that they could in the past, through, of course, the air transport, etc. It gives you an experience of tasting, enjoying, much more than the sea and the sun. And most of all, I think it's these relationships that builds through nations, through people, keeping a contact, returning to the places they've been, and feeling welcome also, because in the past it was not like this. It was just spending 2 weeks possibly on the beach, even on their own country. But now there is much more than that.
And from the point of view of your position, you were 1 year the first man in the world in tourism. Is there any country which is, in your opinion, the best one in tourism?
Tourism was very successful in the Mediterranean, and if I think of a single country, and I'm not saying this because I'm Greek, because I would say Cyprus, but also Greece has so much to offer with the islands, the Mediterranean spirit, yes? But of course,
kitchen, wine, music, dancing,
yes,
all
there
these
is a
things.
combination of things. And of course, tourism in the past, we associated it with sea and sun. But as I said, there is much more. And of course, we had the exotic spots that are much more popular now, much more easy to, like the Fiji Islands. I felt very nice when I was in the Caribbean, in Jamaica, the influence of music. Their cuisine, very much influenced of unspoiled Cuba. I was invited to make a speech a few years back, and I was so amazed on the potential and on their atmosphere, because at the end of the day, you will not bring with you the food you eat, you remember, but it's an atmosphere that you'll bring back as a memory. And I think, yes, many countries, and impressed also from Far East countries like the Singapore, okay, they may have their own problems, Malaysia, Hong Kong. So there have been countries that impressed me, Thailand, you know, you see the people that they put very high in their priority to look after the clients arriving in their country, you know, and they do it in so nice way.
And now something about your guardian angel. You were born 21st of April, and to the 21st of April was given the guardian angel Akayash. This is the name of him, and Akayash is taking care of the persons who were born since 21st till 25th of April. And there were born such persons like Jacob Robert Oppenheimer, William Shakespeare, Charlotte Brontë, the writer in England, then Immanuel Kant, also a philosopher, writer, Ella Fitzgerald, the singer, Jack Nicholson, Shirley Temple, Shirley MacLaine, there are, and Barbara Streisand, Al Pacino.
Okay.
Yeah, artists, singers. Who is the most close to you of these persons?
You mentioned Jack Nicholson.
Yes, an actor, famous.
I, yes, was a little bit influenced by him back in the 70s when I was in England.
Yeah.
I remember a film of him, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Was a masterpiece.
And Forman is a Czech director, and
yes.
he directed the film.
That I remember very nicely. I saw this film many, many times. And of course, Ella Fitzgerald, yes, we do have a lot of CDs of her. You know, my wife, she's a singer, international singer. And of course, okay, Shirley MacLaine, I know very well. I sort of saw a lot of her films. Al Pacino too. You'll never forget The Godfather and the masterpiece that was all the different...
Yeah, it's a good team. It's William Shakespeare there.
William Shakespeare, I've seen a lot of plays of him in London. I followed him quite a lot. I have some memoirs and books from him in my library upstairs. Yes, I didn't realize all of these people were.
And is it anybody, not only from these people, very close to you as a hero in your life, for example? Someone who really influenced your life?
I may not be able to single out one person because maybe I was from a young boy gifted, if I may use this word, or blessed to take from different people the good spots, the good parts, the good ideas, and to be influenced on different things by different people. So I cannot single out that I have a hero that I was following his or her footsteps. But I had a dream, and I had dreams all along my life for things to come true. And these dreams, a lot of these dreams came true.
Yeah, dreams are very, very important.
I worked hard for all these dreams to come true, otherwise...
Dreams survive the world, I think, because when one stops dreaming, it's the end.
Exactly.
Just this is the projection.
Exactly.
Yes, your angel is from the special group of seraphims, angel seraphims. They are the closest to the God, and the characteristic of seraphim is the strong will and self-discipline.
I'm surprised that you say these things, and of course, we didn't speak before about it. Yeah. Yes, I'm a very disciplined person over the years. I think this came from athletics, because you had to do so much in small...
You're successful in international athletic world.
Yes, I was in the national team of Cyprus at a very young age. And I did do also sports in England with a first division club with very good results. What
was your best result in athletics?
In athletics, I think the best result was in London in 1975. I was second in national athletics for first division, second in the 400 hurdles. As an unknown sort of athlete, it was the first year I was in London, and that I repeated, if I recall, 4 or 5 races. In London I was either second or third, never first, unfortunately. And of course international athletics in Greece, in Lebanon and different countries. But I did not focus my attention to athletics. Instead I focused my attention to my professional life that was going to bring me let's say, my future rather than a fame.
Arkayash is governing to the patience and reveals the secrets of nature. Do you a patient man?
I think I am more patient now than I was when I was younger. When I was younger, I wanted to do many things in a shorter period of time, so I was a little bit anxious to get on with things. If I could do something today, why leave it tomorrow? But at the same time, I had one, probably through the years, an advantage that I'm a good planner. So I could plan my day, I could plan my moves, I can do more things than one thing on a day. And this probably gives me more time to think, to review, and move forward. Yes, I'm a patient man.
You like to study new activities, new conceptions, and new technologies. Is it true?
Yeah, I think I have a cycle of something like 6 to 7 years. I'm not a person who just gets on with something and stay with that something forever. So every 4, 5, 6 years I tend to change and renew my interests. And this seems to be working rather than be tired with one aspect of life or one aspect of a profession. For example, now I do 3, 4 things, like professor at the university, heading this Euro-Mediterranean Academy of Tourism. It's a new body, non-profit making organization. I'm president of the veteran athletes of our main town. And I also have my own consultancy office. You tell me, how do you manage all these? I manage them through planning. So I don't, I see myself as changing a role as years pass by.
What was the most important decision in your life, you think, your personal life?
I think the most important decision was the one I did take back in 1974, just before the war in Cyprus. I saw the potential of tourism in one of our occupied towns, Famagusta, and I said, this must be the future of Cyprus. Of course, those days I was a sportsman, an athlete, and my trainers wanted to send me to become a gymnast, a trainer. And I said, no, I don't want that. My father was at the airport as manager of a department of Cyprus Airways. He wanted me to go and work for him. And secretly, I registered myself in London at the university to study hotel management. And of course, that was the most important decision I took. And following the war, my father had no option for me to go and study abroad hotel management.
Oh, yeah.
And that changed my entire life. If I didn't, I would have been somebody else.
It was also mentioned that you are a lucky man. Can you say that you are a lucky man? You mentioned also your painful days and painful experiences.
A lot of things that I got involved with came my way. And they came my way because I was feeling for what I was doing. I was not just doing it to pass the time. And I can mention a few things that came as a real success. Only to mention my first election. And I made one joke when I became president to this organization that when I was registered as a student back in 1974, I said to my teacher who came to register me, Mrs. Bird, I want one day to become president of this organization. And she told me, Theo, learn English first, because I couldn't speak English.
Yes. And you learned. And
I learned and I progressed. But with the things that I got involved, I've been successful. And it's through commitment, it's through hard work, because as an athlete I learned if you don't try hard, you're not going to beat your opponent. So I've been blessed, I think, rather than lucky.
Yeah. And is there a day in your life you would like to reset and to forget it?
Reset, yes, but unfortunately the clock cannot come back.
No. But
yes.
Is it?
It's the 2 persons I lost.
Oh, 2 persons.
My mom and my
How old was
son.
your son?
23 years old.
23 years old. Yeah. But there are many things that are worth to live and to be lucky with them. And
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. What's your next plans? Don't you plan to go to Slovakia to see us?
Definitely, I need to reschedule my program for the future, definitely. Yes, more traveling to explore places I have not been. Slovakia, I have good friends, definitely I will be returning. I thoroughly enjoyed the town, you know. I like these historical towns and these that brings this architecture that excites me.
Yeah.
Yes, I will return. Now, of course, we did not make any plans, but yes, I will return.
So we are lucky to see you in Slovakia, and I am really very happy that you had time and to talk about your life, about tourism, because we are interested very much. And this is your akayash. This is a gift of
Thank
Slovak
you.
television.
Thank you very, very
Yeah.
much.
We will be gardening
you.
all the days and all in your private and professional life. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much, Theo, for
Thank you. I will
This is
place it
it.
and cherish it with all these things that I collected over the years.
Thank you.
That brings me a lot of nice memories.